Welcome to St. Paul, Minnesota at Northwood Stadium. Tonight, it's the 3-1 Minnesota Legend and the unbeaten 3-0 Detroit Maulers in another chapter of the Monsters of the Midwest. Along with Ron Haynes and Mark Mello in the stats truck, Charles Doherty. I am Cameron Irvine. Detroit, are they for real? That's what everyone in the SFL is asking after they played 3 straight teams to start the season that have a combined record of 1-8. They'll get their biggest test this season tonight against Minnesota, who's trying to avoid a rare 2-game home losing streak. Charles, good evening. This should be a great one.
Good evening, and talk about for real. Their roster's for real. I tell you, we were looking at that before game. They've got a lot of very high-rated players on both sides of the ball, and Minnesota's coming off a loss, nail-biter against Bossier City at home. They're looking to get improve their at-home record and claw their way to the top of the East Division. I think these division games can turn out to be the best games to watch, and I'm thinking maybe we're going to look at another field goal win game. Whoever wins is going to win by 3.
It should be an incredible night tonight. Grab your bingo cards. We're ready to go here on the Virtual Football Network. The Monday Night Spectacular. The ball's on the tee, the hands in the air, and kick it. We are underway. From the 2-yard line, Minnesota on the return. We'll get the scoreboard cleared. Did everything but that, I guess, as E.K. Vincent gets it up to the 27-yard line. Johnny Reno is your quarterback.
And that's one of the first bingo, is whether or not Cam has the scoreboard up.
If you had that on your card, you win.
It's on mine.
It is, then your card is not broken.
The bingo
tonight.
numbers are scoreboard.
1st and 10 for Johnny Reno. He's going to hand it off to Colin Hart, and Hart on the first play of the game is going to pick up 7 yards.
Yeah, Colin Hart, the leading rusher. He scored the most rushing touchdowns at 2. They're going to lean on him heavily, and attack that middle of the Mauler defense. I mean, it's going to be hard because they are loaded on that line.
Hand off to Isaac Knox this time, and Knox around the left side gets to the 39-yard line for a Minnesota first down.
I'm curious to see what offense Minnesota's going to run against the Detroit Maulers. I mean, they're loaded on defense. They can play pretty much anything on defense and sit pretty.
That ball deep is caught. First down. Chris Komisak for Minnesota into Detroit territory on Johnny Reno's first completion. A strong start for the legend.
That was a big play, and that's the type of play that gets that home crowd going. It was one-on-one coverage. It looked like King Jamal overextended himself to try and get that interception, and Komisak just made him pay for it.
The Charles Doherty fan club has arrived. The Sky Guy 19 says, Charles, my guy.
He has to say that because he's dating my daughter.
Oh, there you go. Well, fandom can be bought. $5 super chat from Derek Meerkat. Let's start the game with a Meerkat meow camera. As that is Colin Hart around the right side for a pickup of 4.
Okay.
Anything goes.
I don't know. I
Monday
can't say
night.
anything after that. That meow cam.
2nd down and 6. Good opening drive for Minnesota. Hand off Isaac Knox in the trenches down to the Detroit 30 for a 3rd down and 2.
The last 3rd down play, they threw it deep to the tight end. Let's see if they keep that tight end active in the passing game.
7:43 to go first quarter. Reno going to hand it off to Hart, and Hart is stuffed. A loss of 2 yards. A tackle in the backfield made brilliantly by the Hall of Famer Jack Brown for Detroit. 4th down.
Yeah, they had the entire defense waiting there on the edge, and there wasn't anywhere for the halfback to go on that play. Settled for a field goal.
Josh Gint from 47 yards out, and it's doinks off the post. Stoinked it, Minnesota, and comes up empty on a solid opening possession.
Oh, everyone was ready to look at their bingo cards, and no bingo numbers, folks. Sorry about that. It just rattled off the goalpost.
And if you had 47, that is a brutal start to your evening. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line for the Maulers off the missed field goal.
And guess who had 47?
Oh boy, Ethan Flowers back to throw to start. Deep shot, wide open. That pass is caught by Rob Hunt for a Detroit first down.
And Rob Hunt was wide open. It looked like they were playing deep zone coverage there, and somebody's got to bump that man, do something to throw him off his route. It just seemed like it was like 10 seconds before the cornerback Stash went up there and made the hit.
In the backfield is the rookie, Rayshawn Williams, who leads the league in touchdowns with 5 on the ground. Deezer Powell on the opposite side leads through the air with 5, and Williams is going to be buried just beyond the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Stephon Forge and company. 2nd and 9, Minnesota in those lumberjack uniforms tonight.
I believe the last game we did with Minnesota, Cam Forge had an all-star night. It seemed like we were calling his name on every defensive play.
Flowers' pass is caught. That's a first down. Robert Henson Jr. and the tight ends are off to a good start tonight for both teams.
Yeah, Henson Jr., 6'4", 250. A guy with a build like that can move around like a wide receiver. I mean, he's being guarded by Tigga Clay, the outside linebacker, and if that's going to be the matchup all night, Clay's going to have to take a lot of liquids on the sidelines.
45 on 45 crime there. 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Flowers going to drop the throw. Flowers to the clean pocket inside the 10. That pass is complete to Jamar Shelton. First down, Maulers.
It seems like the defense for Minnesota is just giving them any type of route they run between 15 and 20 yards. It looks like they're wide open. Right between the zone coverage right there. Just did a crossing route and was wide open.
I wonder, Charles, if they were expecting Flowers to be kind of a non-factor tonight. He's 21st in the league in attempts at 49. Johnny Reno has 103 for comparison. Detroit, usually a run-first team, but they're coming out pretty balanced so far tonight. Caught Minnesota maybe a little off guard, and that is a handoff to Williams, picked up and thrown down at the 3, but Rayshawn's got his best run of the night.
Yeah, it's like they're. I like how they're mixing it up, and it seems like everything they're pulling out of their bag is working. Minnesota's got to figure out something to at least hold it to a field goal.
Marked officially at the 2. They punch it in with the fullback, and no, just short. Terrell Sutherland on the carry. Stephen Black on the tackle. 3rd and goal at the 1.
It looked like that was about an eyelash shy of a touchdown, Cam.
An eyelash shy of the goal line right here. Heavy set for Detroit. Toss, and that is, what a stop! What a stop by Johnny Bravo, who's been one of the best players in the SFL through 5 weeks.
At 15 seasons, you got a cornerback like that with 15 seasons, you're not going to be able to surprise him very much. He looked like he had that play read from the start and was waiting for the fullback off to that toss.
I thought there was absolutely no way that play was not going to work for Detroit. And Johnny Bravo, who somehow, Charles, leads the league in passes defended and interceptions, which is almost impossible to do, also has
touchdown as well.
Yeah, right. 2 defensive touchdowns as well. Now also has $250,000 in his bank for a 3rd and goal stop incentive.
That was the defensive play of the game so far.
Who knows? It might be the biggest one all night, as both offenses look pretty solid on their opening drive. Minson returns it out, to the 35-yard line. And now Minnesota will get another opportunity to get some points on the board. Detroit up early 3-0 on an 18-yard field goal. You know what that means, Charles?
Bingo.
There they are.
Tonight's numbers are 3 and 18.
Hart picks up 4 on the carry. We'll go over the Minnesota Legend offense in a moment, but another solid start on first down.
Both of these teams, I like the way they're mixing up the run and pass plays. Waiting for. We've already saw one big play on defense. Looking to see if we have some more here in the first half.
Handoff this time to big number 46. That is the backup fullback, Jared Ritchie. Reno, Knox, Hart, and Jay Ballmer, the fullback in the backfield. Quagman, Deezer, Powell, Jay Taylor, E.J. Minson at receiver, Chris Komisak at tight end. Third down for Reno. Reno with a clean pocket, throws an interception. Picked off and returned to the Minnesota 39-yard line. That ball is taken away by number 21, King Jamal, for a Detroit first down.
And it looked like, they sent an extra blitzer in there to disrupt the quarterback, but quarterback had plenty of time. I just don't think he saw Jamal just standing there in the middle of the field and threw it right to him in his hands.
Buzzards Corner, the UFL, starts Sunday, March 22nd right here on the Virtual Football Network. Off the turnover for Detroit, 1st and 10 with 3:12 to go, 3-0. Maulers on top of the legend early, and the handoff goes to Williams, picking up 3. Let's get to the Detroit offense. It's Williams in the backfield with Flowers. Johnny Kim is in reserve for Detroit at quarterback. Andrew Gibson, Terrell Sutherland, Brad Taylor Wright also in the backfield. Rob Hunt, C.J. Paris, Jimmy Wint, Jamar Shelton at wide receiver. Goradol Khan and Robert Henson Jr. are the tight ends. We'll get to the line in a moment. The handoff up the middle gets a couple of more. The tackle for Minnesota made by Angela Meerkat.
I love the fact that Detroit is getting the fullbacks involved. They've been pretty quiet so far this season. No receptions or no rushing touchdowns for their fullback.
Third down, 5 yards to go. In motion was the fullback, Brad Taylor Wright. Flowers escaping to his right, has to get rid of it, and finds Hunt inside the 5. First and goal, Detroit, as Flowers is on fire.
And hats off to the offensive line, given the time. The quarterback Flowers had to roll out of the pocket a little bit just to kind of extend his time where he could go through his progressions. And you can't give a QB that much time. I know they sent some blitzers in to try and bring him down, but man, that offensive line wasn't having any of it. Just stopped them.
Monarchs fan, there's something for everyone here on the Virtual Football Network. You're talking to an SFL crowd here tonight, mostly as Rayshon Williams gets another carry, but Minnesota's been doing a pretty good job on him. He's got 11 yards on his first 6 carries.
And last time they were in this spot, the defense for Minnesota really dug their heels in, and they're going to need to do it again.
Second and goal at the 5. Flowers against the stacked box, hands it off to Gibson, breaks a tackle, and at the goal line, stopped by Stephen Black. Third and goal.
Oh, come on. I think, okay, that was so close.
Another eyelash.
Yes.
Can Minnesota get another stop? Third and goal, handoff, Williams, touchdown, Detroit.
It was only a matter of time. I mean, you put them, the Detroit Maulers, in that position. You know, they didn't get in last time, but it's only a matter of time based on who they've got in the backfield and that stout offensive line. They're going to put some points up.
Touchdown number 6 for Williams in 4 games. The young season for Detroit, and the Maulers have an early 10-0 lead. They have never won in Minnesota, 0-4 all-time, even dating back to the Indianapolis Rambler days.
I think one of the problems that Minnesota's going to have to deal with is this team in Detroit. They are pretty darn strong in the second half. I mean, they've really poured it on from a scoring standpoint. They cannot let this game get out of hand this early in the game, or they're going to be having to climb up Mount Everest.
And I think for the first time in 4 weeks of VFM Bingo, we have number 1 off the board. Charles, we got updated numbers.
Bingo numbers are 3, 18, 1, and 10.
And 8.
And 8.
As we look at Minson on the kick return. Tonight's bingo, Charles, is an all play, essentially. You just want to rack up numbers. It doesn't matter where they are on your card. We'll tabulate those live after the game. See who had the most. 48 seconds to go in the first quarter. This is Jay Taylor in motion. The handoff to Isaac Knox will pick up 6 yards on the opening play of the drive. We want to mention the Minnesota offensive lineman to watch for, Carly Forge, number 53, Axel Raven, number 74. You see them on either side at tackle. The guards are 69 Ruthie Raven and 77 Griffin King. Minnesota has been running on first and second down much of the night, and Detroit is there. A combo stop to pause Hart after a gain of 1. Chris Delro and company on the tackle.
So far for this Minnesota offense, when they are forced to pass it, haven't seen any short routes. It looks like they're going medium and long. They're probably going to run it on this one, but just
hello, number 58 for Detroit comes in and shuts Charles up and gets me to wake up. Frodo Laggins on the sack.
Frodo Laggins, man, just dropped his entire weight on top of that quarterback Reno, and I heard bones cracking.
And that is the end of the first quarter. Detroit on top of Minnesota, 10-0 at Northwood Stadium here in St. Paul. Along with Ron Haynes and Mark Mello and the stats truck Charles Doherty, I'm Cameron Irvine. Josh Gint will start the quarter with a punt for Minnesota, who had an 11-point lead on Bossier City last week at home, couldn't seal the deal. And Detroit, obviously winners of 3 straight. If this game gets close, Charles, I wouldn't trust either one of these teams. Minnesota is 1-9 in their last 10 games that have resulted in a 4-point or less win or loss. Detroit's 3-7.
And we're looking at a perfect 4 for 4 for Flowers so far tonight, and I probably went ahead and jinxed him.
For 84 yards, too. That's the crazy part. 21 yards per attempt. The handoff is going to go to Williams, and not much there again. Only a pickup of 1 yard. The tackle made by B.J. Lovelace. This Minnesota defense, Jerry D. Gond, Angela Meerkat, Biff Markham, and Mark Mello on the line. Linebackers, B.J. Lovelace, Stephen Black, Tigga Clay, and Stefan Forge. The secondary, Chris Stosh, Nicholas Frossel, Johnny Bravo, David Leathers, Slyn Shady, and Derek Meerkat. 2nd and 9 for Detroit. Toss, Williams, nothing doing. Minnesota had 4 different players fighting to get to the football. That once again was Black, his 4th tackle, 3rd and long.
I think Clay set it up, and Black came in and shut it down. I mean, that was great team effort bringing the running back down.
Flowers, short throw, and it's way off target, intercepted on the near sideline by Nicholas Frossel, and Minnesota forces their first turnover of the night.
That was just a bad pass. It looked like the wide receiver turned one way, and the ball was thrown behind the wide receiver. Yeah, no, actually, I got thrown off by the defender. But it wasn't the most accurate pass we've seen of Flowers, and I told you I was going to jinx him.
No, it looked, Charles, like, I mean, you were absolutely right. It looked like maybe he was supposed to run an out. He ran just a little hitch, and it went way to the right of him. Flowers, in fact, did get jinxed just then. Throws his first incompletion for an interception. 1st and 10 now at the Detroit 25-yard line for Johnny Reno. 3 receivers. Reno straight back on 1st down. This time the pass is tipped in, incomplete. Flying in to make the play was Delro with the pass deflection.
That was some air that we saw on Delro getting up there. It was maybe a little bit more touch on that pass, a little more arc, and we would have been looking at a big gain by the offense.
2nd and 10 for Minnesota. Deezer Powell leading the league in touchdowns through the air with 5. Goes in motion. He does not have a catch so far. This is a pitch out to Colin Hart, breaking off 2 tackles. Hart's going to get a 1st down to the 15-yard line. His strongest run of the night.
That was pure effort. I mean, he got hit by, it looks like 3 defenders tried to bring him down at different points on that run. He just barreled through and just didn't stop, kept churning his legs, and walked away with a 1st down.
31 yards on 7 carries for Hart. Handoff, Knox going to pick up a couple. That wrap-up made there by Jubilee Marsh, 4th tackle.
I don't want to be over dramatic here, but they cannot let they got to walk away with points here and cannot let the Detroit Maulers build this lead. They got to get something on the board here, especially at home. They have to fight on their turf, and they got to narrow this lead.
So bring up a 3rd down and 2. Delro with another stop as Minnesota searches for their first points. .7:38 to go in the first half. Ballmer's the fullback in the backfield. Going in motion, Comisac with a 24-yard catch in the opening drive. He's been silent since. Reno, 5-step drop, going to throw. Fires over the middle, incomplete. That pass is jarred loose by Jack Brown. That'll result in a 4th down, Minnesota.
And it looked like Comisac was open, but you also had Hart at the top of the screen, and I think he had a clear path into the end zone if they would have just, the swing pass out to him at the top.
25-yard field goal. Josh Gint, that kick is up and good. 10-3 is your new score.
They needed those points. I mean, I've been saying that all game. Only 7 going into half is not a bad situation to be in, but they got to hold them here and keep them out of the end zone. Plenty of time for the Maulers to put some more points on. It's all a lot of pressure here on the defense.
From the goal line, Detroit on the return up to the 25-yard line, and that's where they will start their next possession. Your updated team stats tonight, both teams still seeking 100 yards, but I think the big story here, Charles, is Detroit just 15 rushing yards so far.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, they got to figure out a way to get that rushing game going. I mean, they rely a lot on the pass, but I don't think you can be one-dimensional going against this Mauler squad.
We've got updated numbers on the screen, Charles, for those who can't see. What are updated
tonight's numbers? Are 3, 18, 1, 10, and 25.
And off to Rayshawn Williams, picking up 5, 2nd and a half a 10. Under 7 to go in the first half. Bunch look here, handoff Gibson, and everybody a little too bunched up to the line. That was Forge making his 2nd stop of the night. 3rd and 3 coming up for Detroit.
Yeah, big stop. If the halfback would have got past Forge, I don't think there was anyone in his way to keep him from getting into the end zone.
10-3 is your score. This is Flowers dropping a throw. 3rd and short. Again, deep down the field. That pass is hauled in by C.J. Parrish, his first catch of the night.
Yeah, Parrish had to jump up and go over the back of the defender to bring that ball in. Great athleticism, Cam.
And I tell you what, the Detroit receivers have really stepped up tonight so far for Ethan Flowers. Over 100 passing yards in the first half as Gibson breaks off a tackle, but we'll pick up just one Monarchs fan, and a number of you in the chat tonight new to the SFL. Welcome. It is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simfl.net. Click the Join the Community button and begin your career, or just to meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. That ball from Flowers is overthrown. It's never too late to get involved. Season 26, Charles. We've been here 13 years, and we ain't stopping now.
Yeah, that Flowers put some juice onto that ball. It left a divot in the turf. I hope somebody goes out there and fixes it.
There's a beautiful playing surface here in St. Paul, and we're certainly happy to not be in the Northeast tonight. Hope all of you that are buried under snow are doing well tonight. 5:34 to go in the first half. Flowers dropping a throw. Flowers looking around. Flowers going to take off and run, and gets tackled from behind after a little dipsy-do. Certainly did not fool big number 94 of Minnesota.
I believe that was Biff Markham.
Yeah, 54. Yes, you're right. I was looking at the roster. I thought there's no way that we have an invisible player here. But yeah, Biff Markham.
That's insane that Markham could come up with that much speed.
Maybe it was because he was wearing the invisibility cloak. That's why I couldn't see him on the roster. This is Troy Vincent that is down for Minnesota. Not a monstrous loss for the legend, but you never want to lose any cornerback depth. Minnesota gets the ball back down 7.
I apologize to the Vincent family on behalf of my partner.
I said it again, didn't I? Reno dropping a throw. That pass is incomplete as that one was broken up. Excuse me, by Detroit's Jubilee Mars. 2nd and 10. Former Legend player.
Yeah, plenty of time on the clock here, but this 2nd and 10, what you don't want to do is make a mistake. If he doesn't see, an open receiver, just, get rid of the ball.
2nd and 10. Reno rollout. Oh, he's in trouble, and he goes down. A loss of 7 yards. That was Frodo Laggins with his 2nd sack. Cha-ching for Detroit's defensive lineman.
Laggins had it at the snap, overpowered the blocker, and that rollout was just headed for disaster with Laggins waiting there on the edge.
Bonus number 36. 3rd and 17. 4:36 to go in the first half. Minnesota down 7. A defensive game as expected. Reno deep in his own territory. Fires, and it is just short. 4th and inches. Minson with the catch, but saving the first down. We'll have to check with our stats team here. We're going to get another look at it. It's Delro.
Yeah, I mean, they played in deep coverage, keeping them away from the sticks. But the good news here if there's any good news for this from Minnesota, is that they can get some better field position for their defense.
Frodo Laggins, 1.5 sacks coming into the night. He's got 2 this evening and a fair catch called for by Hunt at the 40. So that's where Ethan Flowers will take back over. 5 of 7 for 106 yards, has a pick.
Man, so far he's spreading it around, Flowers. Just that one interception, he made that one mistake, but other than that, he's having a pretty darn good game.
Minnesota backing off just a little bit here. 4:03 to go in the second quarter. Flowers again, a clean pocket, and that pass is caught by Henson Jr. The offensive line of Detroit really giving Flowers a lot of time to work with.
That was a good, one-on-one coverage there. And 52, Stephen Black was trying to keep up with Henson, but Henson just got just enough separation and an accurate pass by the quarterback, and they're looking at a first down.
Those impact players on the line for Detroit: Portia Henson, Adrian Marlowe, Jimmy Hayes, Willow Henson, and Torque McLean. A solid front for the Maulers. They're certainly playing very well tonight. Flowers has only been sacked 4 times so far this season. The handoff goes to Rayshawn Williams, picking up 3. 2nd down and 7. Detroit in no hurry.
Perfect time to do a play action. We don't see a ton of play action in this league, but the way the defense is playing, trying to shut down that run, I think now would be a good time to feather that in.
Ooh, super chats for bonus numbers? I could get into that. 2nd down and 7, under 3 minutes to go. Toss play out to Gibson.
Nice.
Nothing doing there. And immediately wrapped up. Both teams trying to get outside, Charles, but having little success. Fords with another stop.
That was a huge stop. That's probably the 2nd best defensive play I've seen tonight. Had a blocker locked up on him, was able to just bring it down with his arm.
3rd and 7, empty. Flowers against pressure. They bring 5. It's caught by Hunt down the sideline. Touchdown, Detroit. What a throw from Flowers to Rob Hunt.
That's great. I mean, that was I thought that play from the start looked like, the rhythm of the play just didn't look right. I thought it was going to end disastrously, but what a nice run there, route by Hunt. Ball hit him right in the bread basket, and he was able to get some separation, take it into the end zone.
Detroit's going to take
the first touchdown of the season for Hunt.
And what an awesome way to get it, too. Now up to 94 yards, Charles. That was unofficially right now a 42-yard score. We're going to get you that. Yep, certainly was. Our stats truck all over it. A 42-yard touchdown, 17-3 Detroit.
It was a huge play, and this is not good news, obviously, for Minnesota. They've still got time on the clock, but got to walk away with something.
The ball goes out of the end zone, and we have our updated bingo numbers.
Tonight's numbers are 3, 18, 1, 10, 25, 17, and 42.
And holy smokes, a $25 super chat from Ellie. You said it, Cam, and the SFL M commish has to deliver. Go Maulers. And Dougie Day with $20 a super chat. Give me some bonus numbers. That is a ton of bonus numbers. And we're going to feed the machine here coming up so far tonight, but that goes for 2 yards on the carry.
Yeah, you need bonus numbers if you're counting all numbers tonight.
No kidding. I just got to figure out how many to dish out. 2-minute warning. How about the number 2 as a bonus number? 17-3 Detroit up on Minnesota.
So if you had that card and you saw a 2 on it, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm never getting that number.
The over-under is 37.5 tonight from Jack's data. How about 37 as a bonus number? 2 minutes to go. We'll continue those throughout the night. Thank you, Ellie and Doug, as Colin Hart gets a few yards to set up a 3rd down and 4, 1:50 to go in the first half. Hey, how about 50 as a bonus number?
Look at you. Keep on going, Cam. Keep going.
Well, we still got to call a game. You got to spread it out. Spread the load. Johnny Reno dropping a throw. Fumble. It is scooped up by Detroit. First down to the Minnesota 19. That is surely to be reviewed, but Robert Cherry and the Maulers are excited.
Yeah, and I think Biff Markham was the one that laid that hit to cause the fumble. Yeah, he's having a pretty darn good game. I mean, that we saw him run the quarterback down on that last play, and he delivered a pretty big hit on the quarterback. Not sure if it was a fumble, but he was hustling out there.
All right, let's get a look at the replay here. This one is always so difficult to tell. Robert Cherry coming through.
Oh, sorry.
Same number 54.
Yeah.
That I'm not sure, Charles. I don't know what to rule here.
Sorry, Robert Cherry. That's on me.
Is ruled incomplete, and Minnesota dodges a bullet. Detroit has really, in all phases, Charles, tonight, besides that one errant throw from Ethan Flowers, has played a great game.
Yep, and and that one stall in the end zone, but again, it's only a matter of time. Like I said, they're loaded, and I fear, the second half here, that they're going to just keep putting those numbers up, and the lead's going to grow. The way they're playing tonight.
All right, Ray Colson with a $20 super chat. I want more numbers, Cam. Well, 21's in your name, so how about giving 21 out as a bonus number? And that ball is fielded at the 40-yard line of Detroit, so how about we put 40 as a bonus number out there? 17-3. Detroit leads with 1:25 to go in the first quarter. Toss play out to Flowers, dropping a throw, fires, intercepted, picked off Minnesota, there they go, it's Bravo, inside the 30, spins away from Flowers, and Flowers brings him down to the 12-yard line.
That's unbelievable. Bravo's having a heck of a game tonight. Nice interception, and the Legend needed that type of play at this point of the game, and they're looking at possibly putting some points up, but man, Bravo, great reading the quarterback's eyes, almost had the score there, not for the lack of trying with that spin move, but wow, Flowers had the hustle, ran down the field and brought him down.
Man, it's unbelievable. The high risk, high reward of Ethan Flowers tonight, averaging 16.3 yards per attempt, but does have now the 2 picks, and now Minnesota's back in this thing at the Detroit 12-yard line. Another interception for Bravo, who is the clear league leader. That ball is incomplete. Looking for Minson in a crowd.
It hit him right in the midst. I mean, I think you can tell on the field that Minnesota's got a sense of urgency here. Looking up at the scoreboard, looked like they, maybe took it up a little notch, especially on defense on that last series.
2nd and 10. Can Detroit's defense get another stop? Minnesota missed a 47-yard field goal earlier in the game. Minson going in motion. That is in with Brown. Touchdown from 12 yards out. Jay Taylor with the score.
What a beautiful play. The wide receiver was not wide open on that play. It was decent coverage. It was just a perfectly thrown, accurate pass by Reno. Just did a quick drop back, didn't allow the aggressive defense of the Maulers to get to him, and just got rid of the ball quickly and accurately. And now they're looking at, putting some points on the board, and that's what they needed going into halftime.
Jay Taylor's second touchdown of the season. And off the Ethan Flowers interception, Minnesota back in this thing 17-10, as 12 is the new official number off the board. There's your updated numbers, Charles.
Tonight's numbers are 3, 18, 1, 10, 25, 17, 42, and 12.
On the return for Detroit out to the 34-yard line. That'll be another bonus number for you. 1:03 to go in the first half.
Oh, man, I missed the bonus number. What was the...
I'm not repeating it.
Oh, you.
You never...
I'm not repeating it.
You never know when it's going to come flying out.
Holy smokes.
Updated look at the team stats here. 190 yards for Detroit, just 94 for Minnesota on 3 first downs. But right in this thing, because Johnny Bravo is just a menace this year against opposing offenses. 1:03 to go in the first half. The handoff goes to Williams, and Williams will pick up 3.
The Maulers have they're built, for running, short plays, run, be it run or pass. They don't need to push it down the field and risk another turnover, but they could still put some points on the board. They've got that type of skill.
2nd and 7, handoff Gibson, breaking off a tackle to the left side, getting the 45, but that's not enough for Detroit to call a timeout. Gibson previously had just 1.5 yards per carry average.
It's okay. They're going to try and push it here. I mean, this could be disastrous, but let's see. Okay,
Williams
smart.
just gets 4 more, and Detroit will be comfortable taking their 7-point lead into the half. 17-10, the combined numbers. Well, nope, 1 more timeout and 1 last shot at it.
Okay. He's got the arm to throw it in the end zone. This could be interesting, Cam.
17 plus 10, Charles, what does that make?
27.
You got it. Another bonus number. 3 seconds to go in the first half. 17-10 Detroit up. Doesn't look like they're going to go Hail Mary. Just going to try one more run with Williams, who's had a phenomenal start to his season, but he still can't get moving. And it's 3rd and 4.
Call a timeout.
And the end of the half. Detroit 17, Minnesota 10. A great first half between 2 very good teams to start the season, Charles.
Yeah, I mean, I like the energy that Minnesota showed late in the first half where they needed it, and it started off with Bravo on that interception, that key interception late in the first half, and great execution on offense. A perfect throw by Reno into the end zone to cut the lead to 7, and we're looking at a ball game here in the second half.
Detroit trying to get to 4-0. This is the first time they've ever been 3-0 in franchise history. Minnesota could get to 4-1 for the 3rd time in their young history. Charles, they have the 5th best win percentage of any SFL franchise. They've been a consistent winner, but this is something that they're that's very unusual for them. They're 35-12 all time at home, including last week's loss to Bossier City.
Every home loss hurts. In the playoffs, if you're going to be a deep playoff team, you got to be able to win at home. I mean, that's a given.
All right, here we go. Minnesota going to kick off to start the second half. Detroit's going to get the football. There is definitely a west to east wind here tonight, blowing out of the back of that end zone. As that one goes sailing through the uprights, Detroit will get it at their own 20.
But the good news is it doesn't look like it's impacting the passing game.
Flowers 7 of 10 for $163. Shelton goes in motion for Detroit. See what they do to start the second half. They're going to go a little trap. Williams makes something out of nothing and gets 7 on the carry. Tied. It's actually his longest tonight, Charles.
Even, Flowers has 2 interceptions, but he's still looking at a 106.3 QBR.
It's a wild stat line. He has been slinging it all over the place. The handoff, not going to pick up the first down. Brad Taylor Wright's first carry, 3rd and inches.
I love it how Clay ran up from behind and just grabbed him at the waist and said, "Sit down, son."
And they pick it up. Toss. That's the play. They ran at the goal line, and this time it's good enough for a first down. That's Williams' 15th carry, 16th carry of the night, but for just 36 yards.
And that's a dangerous pitch. I mean, you got to have someone on the edge there, maybe hard coverage, just waiting for that, because they can do that to you all night.
1st and 10. Flowers dropping a throw, takes a check down to Henson Jr., his 3rd catch, set up a 2nd down and 3.
Henson's really having a solid game tonight. Great route running. Seems like they're putting him in the middle, finding the gaps in the coverage, and he's making them pay for it.
Flowers is going to send Rob Hunt in motion, who was the player of the half. 3 catches for 94 yards and a touchdown. The handoff to Williams right up the gut, and that is how Detroit has been brutalizing teams in the second half. First down.
And that type of play, those successful power runs up the middle, is just going to take the wind out of the sails of that defense, and they're going to be gasping for oxygen here in the 4th quarter.
First and 10. This time it's Gibson on the carry. Gibson wearing number 23, a bonus number, picks up 3.
Oh, sneaky.
Having fun with it tonight. As Ray's super chat still lingers. 2nd down and 7.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. Ethan Flowers dropping a throw, fires at is caught. Henson, but it did appear short of the first down, and Johnny Bravo's there to make the tackle.
That I don't know if they're going to. Well, yeah, that was a close one. There's a lot of close calls on the spotting of the ball tonight.
Another 3rd down and short here for Detroit. This time they're going to hand it off to Williams left side, and he is stuffed by Stephon Forge, his 4th tackle, along with David Leathers, also his 4th tackle, and Detroit's going for it, Charles.
That was a great tackle by Forge. Yet another solid defensive play by the veteran.
First 4th down attempt of the season for Detroit, and Gibson is stopped. Minnesota with the defensive takedown, Black's 8th tackle.
That was, it's like the defense knew it was coming to their side, and they just stacked it up and got past any hopes of run blocking and brought it down for a loss.
6:40 to go in the 3rd quarter. Ball on the Minnesota 45-yard line. Handoff, Hart dragging defenders, picking up 4 up to 37 yards on 9 carries.
I think Hart's going to be the key here in the second half. He's got to start. He's been okay so far tonight. 4.1 yards per carry, but he's going to have to pick it up and put a little bit of that offense on his shoulders.
Just 3 of 9 for 51 yards and a mess right at the Legend logo. Only picking up 1, and Big Sean Parent makes the tackle.
Big is the right word. He has 3 Social Security numbers.
3rd down and 5. 18 total, I guess. Is a play fake from Reno. Takes off and runs. And
no way.
That's tough, Charles.
Oh, he had to have gotten that first down.
Minnesota going to challenge.
Go. Let's check the replay.
All right, let's see. This was a tight one. At first glance, it looked like Reno had the first. Because he doesn't really start a slide, does he, Charles?
At the ball crossed, and I think his knee hit on the yeah. That's a first down.
I think
What
that's
do you
the first
think?
down. Yep.
After review, the play stands. The call on the field is correct. Philadelphia.
Whoa.
No way.
Whoa, that is a crazy call. And Minnesota cannot believe it. Their home refs, the head coach, Axel Raven, beside
Do
himself.
it. Go for it. Go for
And
it.
they're going.
Colin Hart.
Can Detroit get a stop on the other end? 4th and inches. Handoff, Hart got it. First down with ease to the Detroit 40-yard line.
Oh, my gosh. That was some blocking up front. I was going to say run to the other side where Sean Parent is, but it looks like they just ran it right down and were able to, number 69, Ruthie Raven, was able to handle Parent on the line.
Handoff, Isaac Knox breaking a tackle down to the Detroit 35-yard line halfway through the quarter.
I love it. You know, put the let that offensive line know that you're confident in them and their run blocking, and just keep feeding it to Knox and Hart and Balmer, and I think good things are going to happen.
2nd and 4. Handoff, Colin Hart picking up a couple. Charles, how old are you?
What?
How old are you?
Oh, I am.
I'm just going to put
85.
over 50 as the bonus. Just, you don't have to say. 3rd down and 2.
Wow. You're never going to be interviewing people for jobs.
4:22
I'd like to
go
know
in
how
the
old are you, if you're pregnant, and how much you weigh.
first down. That again is Ballmer's backup for Minnesota. I had to. I'm sorry. It was
That caught me off guard. Charles, how old are you?
4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Handoff. Colin Hart again picking up 6. Those updated rushing numbers. Minnesota outgaining Detroit tonight on the ground, 90-63.
Love it. Keep that running game going. That offensive line is fired up.
239 to 129 in total yards, 2nd and 4, but I'm with you, Charles. The offensive line is doing work,
Oh.
but how about Sean Parent doing work, taking one of those Social Security numbers and scanning it for a 1-yard loss?
Yeah, definitely. That is a big specimen right there. Do not run to number 51.
3rd down and 5. Johnny Reno dropping a throw, escaping to his left, going to take off and run, slides, but his slides
way!
started before the first down.
Oh, man.
And a 33-yarder coming up for Josh Gint, and there's no challenge. Gint has made one and missed one. That kick is good. From 33, 17-13 is your new score.
They're fighting, though. You got to give them credit. They didn't get the touchdown, but they cut the lead to 4, and they've got a little bit of the momentum. I wouldn't say that they're dominating, but, man, that last drive they had was just right down the throat. Yard after yard after yard, and then they stalled. After that, they were one step away to getting a first down and knocking on the door for a touchdown.
First down for Detroit after the kick goes in out of the back of the end zone. 17-13 with 2:42 to go in the 3rd quarter. This is Williams picking up 2. Here's your updated bingo numbers.
Updated bingo numbers are 3, 18, 1, 10, 25, 17, 42, 12, 13, and 33.
Flowers again taking a deep shot and picked off again. The overthrow as that is Meerkat, Derek Meerkat coming up with the pick, and that is the 3rd different Legend player with an interception tonight.
This defense for Minnesota is keeping them in the game. When they need it, they rise to the occasion, and they're giving the ball to the offense and giving them a good chance to keep this score manageable and possibly take the lead.
2:14 to go in the third quarter, and Minnesota's got all the momentum right now. The only thing they don't have is the lead. Dropping the throw. Reno's pass caught. These are Powell first down to the 20. That is Powell's first catch of the game.
That was one of the things I like about Johnny Reno is he's one of the quarterbacks in this league that has very good touch on their throws. When he's throwing it, he's not throwing 120 miles an hour. He can put the heat on the ball, but he also knows when to pull off and just do that touch pass like we saw in that play.
The receiver's near side. It's going to go to Knox inside, and he'll pick up just 1 yard. That wrap-up made by Marsh, 8th tackle for Jubilee.
Yeah, they're knocking on the door here, Cam. I would, like I said earlier, just keep relying on your horses to get you in the end zone.
Second down and 9, Jay Taylor goes in motion. Hand off. 3rd and 6, Jay Ballmer with the carry for the first time.
Yeah, first time Ballmer touched the ball. 3rd and 6 here, Cam. I wouldn't try and go for all the enchiladas. Just get it to the 10-yard line.
3rd and 6, 42 seconds to go in the third quarter. Minson goes in motion. A critical down and distance here for Minnesota. They are 1 of 9 on third down tonight, and that pass is caught 1 yard short. Deezer Powell is sat down, Charles, by King Jamal.
That's like, what is that, 3 third down plays in a row that have been short by 1 yard or less.
And now Gint will have to attempt a 28-yard field goal to make it 17-16. Gint's kick is good. A 1-point Detroit lead.
Well, at least they're putting points on the board, so that's what they need to do. And that defense is just playing, insane for Minnesota.
New bingo numbers now on the screen.
And you would like me to read them, correct?
That would be good, yes.
Wonderful. Tell Skippy that. So the numbers are 3, 18, 1, 10, 25, 17, 42, 12, 13, 33, 28, and 16.
1st and 10 at the 20. 7 seconds to go in the third. 17-16. Now Detroit up by 1. They're going to try to go back to what's worked for them all season. That was Rashawn Williams with the carry, and that brings us to the end of the third quarter. What a nail-biter we've got going on in Minnesota. 17-16 as the Maulers seek momentum in the fourth.
This is going to be a crazy fourth quarter. I mean, the defense for Minnesota so far has been just playing at next level, and they've been slowing that offense down for Detroit that was hot at the beginning of the game. Let's see if they can get a little bit more fire here and put some pressure on Minnesota.
Along with Ron Haynes and Mark Mello in the stats truck, Charles Doherty, I'm Cameron Irvine, Rashawn Williams with yet another carry. He has been the bell cow back for Detroit tonight.
Yeah, they've been pretty successful on that pitch play as well. Let's see if they go to it here on this series.
They have been really weary of throwing the football after Flowers threw his 3rd interception. All of them really on overthrows, but they're going to try here again, and the pass is deflected and nearly taken away.
Holy smokes.
Stephen Black with his first pass deflection of the night. 9:27 to go, fourth quarter. Under still hitting. 9:27 left potentially in Detroit's undefeated season unless they can hold on, find some offense here. Flowers dropping a throw. Oh, he threw another one. Picked off and taken the other way. Flowers with his
Unbelievable.
second tackle of the night. Chris Stash with the interception.
There's-
4 different Minnesota Legend defenders with a pick.
Yeah, the defense is feeding tonight. I mean, it started off with, they put some pressure on the quarterback, had to get rid of the ball. Maybe obviously not the best decision there on who to throw to, because Stash was waiting and brought it in, and they're looking at another opportunity to score. Let's just hope they get the first down and put it in the end zone and put a lot of pressure on Minnesota.
Detroit just 50
Excuse
yards
me,
of
on Detroit.
50 yards of offense in the second half, and Minnesota once again is in scoring position. The handoff goes to Hart, and he picks up nothing. But Charles, I wouldn't even throw it. Just run it, keep kicking field goals, and
Yep.
let your defense do the work.
Or you could slip a swing pass in there, but we haven't seen that so far tonight.
No
Back in the day,
targets.
Colin Hart used to be great at that.
Yeah, no targets to any of the backs, including Hart. And you're right, back in his Sioux Falls days, Isaac Knox picks up 2. Citrion makes the tackle, a critical 3rd and 8 coming up for Detroit. They are 5 of 9 on 3rd down.
They're going to be tempted to go for it. And it looks like they're going to be they got 4 wide out there. So make a smart decision, Reno. Get rid of it if you have to.
3rd down, 8 yards to go. Reno dropping a throw, fires. Incomplete. That would have taken points off the board, but J.W. Hartshorn only ends up with a deflection, and now Josh Gint gets his 5th attempt of the night.
That ball touched every part of Hartshorn's jersey in the front. It rolled all over him. Oh, man, he's kicking himself.
A 35-yard field goal attempt for Gint as the numbers are flowing here. Oh, that's tight. It is good. Woo. Just snuck in that left upright, and Minnesota takes the lead.
I was at the beginning of the game, the way Detroit was playing, I thought this could potentially be a blowout, but I'm wrong. I'll admit it, man. That Minnesota defense just has done everything they could to keep them in the game and give the ball to their offense, and now they're looking at a 2-point lead.
Hope your Cards treating you nicely tonight, boys and girls. There's your updated numbers, Charles. Give them to the crew.
Tonight's numbers: 3, 18, 1, 10, 25, 17, 42, 12, 13, 33, 28, 16, 19, and 35.
Shelton on the return, and Charles, what does Detroit have to do to settle things down here? They have no momentum. They got to find something.
Well, I mean, it looks like every one of their passes has been, 10 to 15 yards deep. If they could rely on some short routes to the tight end who's been finding himself open all night, maybe you can get some yard after catch.
Williams picks up 6. His longest run is still 7. That's the longest run of any Detroit Mauler tonight.
That's a testament to the defense of Minnesota, especially that linebacking core. They've been just playing insane tonight.
Heavy look here for Detroit on 2nd and 4. Handoff to the fullback, and not much there. Sutherland's second carry. There is an injury on the field. It is Stephen Black, the inside linebacker. Now, fortunately, Minnesota has some depth there with B.J. Lovelace, the second, but that is a huge loss against a run-first Detroit offense.
But, Stephen Black obviously is one of the linchpins of that linebacking core, but you're bringing in Lovelace, 12-season veteran who's pretty much seen it all, and you're not getting a drop-off whatsoever.
3rd down and 4. Flowers dropping a throw. The pass is caught. Henson 1st down.
That's what I want. That's what I asked for, Cam. Don't need to throw it deep because, man, the defensive backs for Minnesota are just waiting for it.
7:15 to go in the 4th quarter. Brad Taylor Wright goes in motion. 19-17 Minnesota. Hand off to Williams. Not much there. He's going to creep ahead for 3. Again, Detroit is 0-4 all time in this building.
Incredible. And I mean that they're so far I like the play selection there for the Maulers.
2nd and 7, hand out. Look at Minnesota flying to the football. That is, again, Brad Taylor right. Detroit's kind of clammed up a little bit here, Charles. They're just making sure they don't make the big mistake on 3rd and short.
Looks like they're, going to the ground again. Odds are, we'll see.
No, Flowers going to throw, has the flat open, takes the underneath route, and Rob Hunt breaks a tackle and gets loose to the Minnesota 45-yard line for a Detroit first down.
Huge, right? Hunt's route took him right, barely short of the chains. Nice catch in the middle. Oh my gosh, he just decked number 59, Justin Anna, the inside linebacker, and got that extra yards.
And that is Black's replacement.
I was angry.
Who knows if Black would have been able to make that tackle. Under 6 to go. Flowers dropping a throw. Another clean pocket. Wide open over the middle is Shelton for the first down. Just his 2nd catch of the night.
Smart. Like I said, dumping those routes off short to mid range, and they're executing.
Every Tuesday on the Virtual Football Network. That's tomorrow, folks. You can catch highlights of every game from around the league on SFL Blitz, hosted by moi. Listen for your name, get a recap of what you may have missed, and see if you're lucky enough to be named Player of the Week by me. It's SFL Blitz every Tuesday on the Virtual Football Network. This is Ethan Flowers dropping a throw over the middle again.
Nice.
Finding that gap that they found in the first quarter. Charles Parrish with his 2nd grab.
Yeah, they lulled them to sleep with those, short, medium routes, and then, dialed up the long route there and just found an opening in the deep zone coverage, and safety was just too far off to be able to make a play.
Flowers up to 225 passing yards for Detroit. Those 4 interceptions loom large, but all will be forgiven if the Maulers can punch it in from 11 yards out. This is Flowers, touchdown, Henson!
Unbelievable catch. Good coverage by Minnesota, but just threw it up in the air and let the tight end jump up and just show athleticism and bring that ball in and take the lead here on the road.
Robert Henson with the 11-yard touchdown catch. For Henson, that is just his 2nd career touchdown. The extra point is up and good by Silo Aldmere. And it's 24-19 Detroit. Minnesota on the ropes again in front of their hometown fans in another nail-biter with 4:54 to go in the 4th quarter. Just 155 yards of total offense tonight for Minnesota.
Yeah, they're getting to the point here where, they can't lean as heavily on the run as they've been. So, we're going to have to see some life in the passing game here for Minnesota.
Isaac Knox picking up 3.
What are we under 5 minutes? Are we at 4 and some change?
Yeah, 4:38.
Yeah, the clock is not their friend. You got to move this down quick.
Hand off, Hart going to try to escape to the right side, and does. Hart is going to get out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Trust in Hart.
The offense on that man's shoulder. I mean, he's done it so many times, so many seasons. Oh, what an effort. And to get it out of bounds at that's crazy.
13 carries for 61 yards. Updated bingo numbers.
Tonight's numbers 3, 18, 1, 10, 25, 17, 42, 12, 13, 33, 28, 16, 19, 35, 11, and 24.
And off goes to, I think that was Hard up the middle. Pickup of just 1. Knox, check that. 4:10 to go.
That's a lot of bingo numbers.
So it's a lot of numbers tonight. Plus all the bonuses. We've had 26 called. That's over half. 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Toss out to Hart. Parent tried to catch up to him. Slowed him down a little bit.
Kidding me?
Jack Brown on the tackle. 3rd and 5.
That's a double-decker bus running after you, man. That's a lot of speed going.
3rd down for Minnesota has been their bugaboo. 1 of 11. They faked the handoff. Reno play action. He's going to take off and run, and he's not going to get it there. 2 yards shy. Tackle from behind by Frodo Laggins.
Man, great game so far for Frodo Laggins. He's made some huge plays, stopping some drives, and now the Detroit Maulers are in the driver's seat.
Punt with 3:09 to go. Punt down 5. Charles, you like that decision? Play some defense?
Yeah, well, I mean, with the exception of that last series, the defense has been, keeping them in the game, and they just got to put the challenge on that defense to, go back to more of that magic dust.
Can they defend that deep middle that Flowers has found in the first and fourth quarters? They go 4 wide receivers here on 1st down. Flowers drops to throw. He fires wide open. Parrish past midfield and into Minnesota territory.
And they decided to do some blitzing on both of the edges, deep in the from the mid-range level from the defensive back positions, and they made him pay for it. Nice read by Flowers right at the snap, knew the blitz was coming, and just went right for his hot target.
3:03 to go in the fourth quarter. Parrish did go out of bounds, so that stops the clock. Minnesota needs some answers defensively. Flowers going to throw again as Detroit stays wide open, and turning around in the open field was, wow, someone that we didn't expect tonight, Tanner Taylor making a play.
Tanner Taylor just comes off the bench and just wide open. I mean, able to capitalize as well, go down the field. I mean, I think he was shocked that he wasn't going to get hit when he first caught that ball.
As a coach, Charles, when you see players that wide open, that's got to be something that Minnesota was just not expecting, right?
That's right, yeah. Did not expect that. That was a good play called by Detroit.
Detroit keeping them on their toes. Ethan Flowers, 285 passing yards tonight, but Detroit has got to be careful. He's already got 4 interceptions. Williams is only going to pick up a yard there.
Yeah, and Forge shut down that pitch play that's been pretty successful tonight. Not on that play.
The last 300-yard game for Ethan Flowers was against Albuquerque, September of last year. Had 310, 369 a month prior to that. 2:25 to go in the fourth. Minnesota has all 3. Check that, 2 timeouts because they lost that challenge on the 4th and short call. Gibson takes off and runs to the 21-yard line, 3rd and 2.
Yeah, really, really a lot of pressure here on that defense for Minnesota. Now's the time. You're going to do something. You got to do it now. They walk away with a field goal. You're going to be in quite a hole.
2 minutes to go. Detroit 24, Minnesota 19. One of just 2 undefeated teams left, and they're trying to get a monstrous road win, along with Ron Haynes and Mark Mello in the stats truck. Charles Doherty, I'm Cameron Irvine. We're tabulating bingo cards after the game, and we're also reminding you that next Monday we've got DC and Vancouver here on the Monday Night Spectacular, as that run is not going to get the first down. So Minnesota will call timeout. They will get the ball back. It'll be a 1-score game.
Yeah, I mean, good defense. Might be a little too late, but we'll see here. I mean, the offense is going to need to rise to the occasion.
And Minnesota is notorious for great no-huddle offense. That field goal is up and good, 27-19. Detroit by 8.
They're going to need that, and they're also going to need to have their best 2-point conversion play as well.
It's always tough. That was a We're calling that a 37-yard field goal already off the board. 27-19, that kick out of the back of the end zone. So 152 to play, 384 to 182. But the turnovers significant as Minnesota has only turned the ball over once. Flowers 4 times. That's helped keep Minnesota in the game. This is the Legends moment. Reno dropping a throw. Reno fires. That ball is caught at the 35-yard line by Taylor. That is Minnesota's final timeout.
Got to show something in their passing game. I mean, Reno has not had the best game of his career at 41% completion and 103 yards so far. So he's going to have his best series of the night here.
6 of 13, now over 100 yards for Reno, 7.9 yards per attempt. Ethan Flowers is still at 13. Reno's pass is caught by Taylor at the 47-yard line. He is absolutely decked by King Rashid, but now Minnesota will go no huddle until they start spiking inside of a minute. That pass is caught to the Detroit 43-yard line.
Like he caught that between his knees.
Stats truck, hold on. Reno straight back, fires, caught. Midson down to the Detroit 30, making quick work of the Maulers defense here.
Do not stop this drive. Keep on going.
Reno to Powell
get out of bounds.
to the 21-yard line. They'll get one more playoff before the spikes occur, Charles. Reno dropping the throw, fires, pass off the hands and incomplete, looking for Taylor.
Looked like it hit him in the pads. Oh, those last four plays were fantastic by Minnesota.
And here we go again, Charles. 3rd and inches. 1 of 12 on 3rd down tonight for Minnesota, and their last 3 have been 4th and 1s or less at the end result, and that is incomplete. Now it's 4th and inches.
I think, it's definitely a 4-down set here. It might have been good to at least, get a run up the middle there to get that first down and, take a little of the pressure off. I know you don't have a lot of time here, but...
And I think with no timeouts, you might expect a pass here. Reno's got to deliver. 4th and short. 56 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. Reno's pass is incomplete. Jarred loose. Minson. King Rashid makes the game-winning play.
Oh, that was huge. I think the worst thing to happen for them was that having to stop, after that 2-minute offense was so successful. That one drop ball just seemed to take the life out of the offense.
And Minnesota, who is 1-9 in their last 10 games decided by 4 points or less, loses their 2nd straight 1-score game, will fall to 3-2. Detroit will move to 4-0 as they continue their hottest start in franchise history. And guess who they have next week, Charles? The Birmingham Hellhounds, coming off their first loss to Houston.
Yeah, that is gonna be a big one.
Week 6 gets started on Friday night with Arizona, Fort Worth, Houston, Miami, Lexington, Washington, and Oklahoma City, Los Angeles. Arizona, Fort Worth, the big one there on Friday. Saturday action gets started with Carolina, Minnesota, Detroit, Birmingham, Mexico City, Chicago, and Bossier City, Florida. Some interesting matchups there. DC will head to Vancouver on next week's Monday Night Spectacular. That is your ball game. Detroit 27, Minnesota 19, an absolute thriller on the Monday Night Spectacular. Charles, couldn't have asked for anything more unless you're a Legend fan.
Yeah, we talked about the onus was on Minnesota to kind of keep that lead as small as possible because they would take over, the Detroit Maulers would take over in the second half. And I think, they started to, get some momentum. The Minnesota defense started that off, but it seemed like they just kind of lost their gas, in the mid-3rd quarter and 4th quarter and allowed Detroit to come out and score those 10 points that, put them ahead and gave them the victory. So great effort by Minnesota, but, I think Ethan Flowers, if you're going to give a ball out, I'd give it to him, but also, probably Frodo Laggins as well with those 2 huge sacks. They rose to the occasion late in the second half when they needed to on the road, and that's what you need to be a playoff team that's going to go deep and be a threat for the championship.
Well, Detroit and Houston are your two lone unbeatens in the SFL. They're on the schedule, but not till week 13. Will they still be undefeated when we get there? Minnesota's got Carolina next week, followed by a double bye, DC and Chicago. Don't go anywhere. We've got the tabulations of bingo tonight coming up, and we'll get set up for that and see who our big winner is tonight with the numbers. Good night, everybody. All right, here we go. Looking at the cards here tonight. Now it's going to have all the called numbers on it, but you have to make sure that you have them all if you want to be a winner here tonight. So we're just going to go through card 8, 10, 12. 12. We're looking for some big cards and some big numbers here. Everybody's had 12 numbers so far. We'll get some music going here. 12 as possible. 5-way tie right now. Ooh, there's a good card. 4, 6, 9, 10, 14. 14 on card 7. 15 on card 10. Card 15 on card 10. Two, 4, 6, 8, 12, 13. I have 16 numbers on card 30. And then on card 20, I've got, what did I have? 5, 9, 12, 15, 16 numbers on card 20. Card 31. 16 16 on card 33. We have a three-way tie right now. I'm not looking at the chat, just so you know. Could not possibly do that at the same time. Tag me if you have anything specific you want me to come back to. That's 14. Here are horizontal bingos, though. 4, 8, 10, 12, 15. 2, 3, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 11. 2, 5, 9, 12, 15. 6, 8, 10, 12. 4, 6, 10, 12, 14. 4, 8, 10, 13, 15. Just missed. 3, 6, 10, 15. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 8, 13. 2, 8, 14. 6, 9, 12, 14. 16 is still your leader. That's 12. You got 4, 8, 12, 14. 4, 8, 9, 10, 12. 6, 9, 5, 7, 10, 14. 6, 9, 13, 15. 1 away. 3, 5, 9, 12. 2, 4, 7, 9, 11. 16 is still the leader. 3, 5, 9, 12, 13. 4, 6, 9, 13. 4, 8, 11, 12. 4, 6, 9, 12. 3, 4, 7, 9, 10, 12. Down to the wire. 3, 6, 8, 9, 13. 3, 7, 9, 11, 12. 4, 8, 11, 13, 16. Card 88 with 16. That's a four-way tie now. You must turn in your winning card with all of the numbers called in order to be a winner. 4, 7, 9, 11, 15. 4, 6, 8, 10, 14. 3, 6, 7, 9, 13. 4, 8, 11, 12. 4, 6, 8, 12, 14. 4, 7, 9, 12, 13. 3, 6, 8, 9, 11. 4, 7, 9, 11, 14. 5, 7, 10. Whoa. Whoa. 5, 6, 7, 10, 13, 17. Card 97. You could be our lone winner, or it rolls over next week. Card 97 with 17. 4, 6, 8, 11, 12. That's it. Right at the end. Card 97 with 17 numbers. If you turn it in and win, then you have won the entire pot. If you do not turn it in, it rolls over to next week. Card 97. You are the winner tonight with 17 called numbers. Good luck to you all out there tonight. Thanks for